click the go live button, and so you know what that means?
I'm not really sure because sometimes we're not live.
Oh, we're live.
Okay, cool. Sweet. Welcome on let me check my watch or calendar on a Tuesday. Oh my God.
It
You
is a
know why we're
Tuesday,
on a Tuesday? Yeah. Because everyone was laboring the day off yesterday.
and we're laboring
Well,
yesterday.
yes, welcome to the Legends Clubhouse. As always, I am Bobby Kaboose with that ugly ass Steelers jersey on. Lawson Turner, what's going on, man?
You know what week it is? It's NFL kickoff week. So I was surprised you weren't didn't have like a golf or a Hutch or a Gibbs jersey on.
You know what happens, man. Once you get to a certain age, you don't want to wear someone else's name on your back.
Well, I know
I'll
you
take because I have like the jersey T-shirts, but yeah,
of who like
you know.
Scooble. You got a Scooble
I
one?
I have dude. So I bought a Scooble one before Scooble was Scooble.
Yeah.
Before he was like the man. And I got bleach on it. So I don't really wear
Damn.
it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a Gary Sheffield on the Marlins. I have a
Ooh.
Fernando Tatis Jr. I have a Vlad Guerrero Jr. I have a Bobby Higginson for all those people that love Bobby Higginson, all-star uh, Tiger from the
Mm.
90s when the Tigers were fucking ass. Um,
Yeah.
who else do I got? I got a Griffey. Um,
Senior?
Griffey's probably no, junior, senior. Fuck out of here. Griffey Jr. Probably my favorite player of all time.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think those are the ones.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna try to get one from like each team, but then like I grew up.
But then I grew up.
But I also got those probably in my early 30s,
Yeah.
or late 20s. But I went through a phase where I was getting them. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
um, anywho, how was your weekend?
It was busy, busy, busy. We had well we I say we like we as in me. I had Madden tournaments. I had fucking I put out a handful. I cover the entire AFC North season predictions. You can check those out on newleafnews.com/network. Both take you to the same great spot.
Same grade same.
That bingo. And it was the action-packed college football weekend. It's I'm starting to foam at the mouth. It
Yeah.
was like the first big one. I mean, there were games the week prior. However, like from with Texas, Ohio State to Notre Dame, Miami, to the shocking defeat of Alabama and Roll Tide. So I was it, it
Mhm.
was it was just a super action packed of media content and just it's that time of the year. I'm,
What did
I'm
you do?
what did I
You
do?
said you said Madden tournaments. Was that like all weekend?
So so for the Madden ladders that I qualified for the previous 2 weekends, that set my seed up for this past weekend. And to get to advance from Saturday to Sunday, you had to win 4 games. I got all the way to the win and get in for the next day, and I lost to another pro Madden guy. But I am a semi-emotional, like competitive gamer. So like, if I make a bad play or call a bad play, it kind of snowball effects. Like I went into the lead
You gotta be
into the
mentally
lead.
tough.
You do got to be mentally tough. And fucking, I was up 3 at half, and then he just called a great second half, and I refused to adjust. Which it was the first tournament of the year. I think the next stage of ladders for the next tournament is like 2.5 weeks away. So it's kind of the here's where I am. Here is where I need to adjust XYZ stuff like that. But yeah, overall, like the competitive Madden stuff, I don't know. I really enjoy it. It's fun.
Yeah.
hmm
Um.
So what'd you do over
Yeah,
your Labor Day weekend?
dude. I had a wiffle ball tournament
Ooh.
on Saturday, which consisted of the majority of the day, and we got there at 10 a.m. The tournament, I think the first game started at like 10:46. And we didn't finish until about 5, and then we hung out for a little bit, and
hmm
but it was a long day, dude. It was a long day, and my buddy invited me to this tournament, and it was the first time I played in a wiffle ball tournament. first time I played wiffle ball since I was a little kid, or not little kid, but like probably a teenager with a couple of my buddies. We would bust out the wiffle ball if there was only two or three of us, so like you could still make plays and shit because you're not gonna hit the ball that far, and you can even on a fly ball you can track it down for the most part.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. I think it's an event that my buddy is gonna put on more frequently, and I think there might be some collaboration with New Leaf News at some point where we are live streaming this tournament on our YouTube channel where we are right now. That might be in the works.
They can
But
be
it was
really
fun.
fun.
It was fun. The thing is about it, so again, my buddy, he's a good friend, but he's got a tendency of like needing to win, like he has to win, like so, like it's like like it's at his house, like there's there was a list of rules, and then there was a list of rules that weren't written down, to maybe favor one team over the other. But anyway, overall it was fun. There was these two kids, dude, that like, okay, they were, I don't know if you've ever played wiffle ball, but like the mound is very like a lot closer than a regular fucking, and you can make that fucking ball move. Dude, there was these two kids that like one of them was 17. One of them he couldn't have been older than 22, maybe.
Right.
Dude, throwing fucking straight fucking gas, and it's moving, and like you can't even see the ball, dude. Like it was like, okay, I'm just gonna go up there and look for a walk, and like if I can't walk, then I guess I'm gonna just strike out looking because I can't even fucking see the ball go past me.
Right.
So I suggested for the next time to maybe move the mound back a little bit. But overall, it was a fun time. We ended up getting to the finals of the loser bracket. There was 4 teams. And then we ended up losing in the finals of the loser bracket, and the team that won the winners bracket had to go and face my buddy's team and beat him twice, and that wasn't going to happen.
Right.
But yeah, like sometimes the teams sometimes get a little bit stacked, and it was funny because like he wanted to play like an exhibition after with the girls and stuff, and like it's just funny, like he made teams, and like it was like I was on his team, and like the best girl hitter was on his team, and just like like
trying to stack the deck.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, I'm glad I'm glad I'm on this team at least, so that I'm not pissed off that I lose. But anyway,
you said there were rules that weren't written down, XYZ stuff like that. What was like the most fugaziest rule? Like, okay, we can hit unlimited home runs, you can only hit 2.
No, so where I had an issue was we were playing, and like I said, he's got like a set of 10 to 15 rules. Those are the rules. I'm cool with it. You specify them before, and it wasn't anything outrageous, right? What was fucked up was they had a 45-minute time limit for the game, right? So just to keep the games moving, because I mean there was innings where you would score 14 runs or whatever, and then there was innings that you'd go 1, 2, 3, like so. Anyway, there's a 45-minute time limit, and we're playing against a team, and he announces, he's like, "This is the last inning." And I go, "Well, how much time?" We had a whiteboard with the scoreboard on it, and we had the time that we started and the time that the game would end. And the game was close, and we were trying to make a comeback. We were down by 1, and we were the home team. And so we were technically at our last at bats, and I was like, he was like, "Yeah, these are your last at bats." And I go, I looked at the time, and we still had like 6 minutes left. I go, "Well, we still have 6 minutes left. If I get out right now, we can start another inning before the 45-minute, because that was the rule." Right. And he was like, "No, there's a 7-minute grace period." And I go, "What?" I'm like, what is that? And we weren't even versus team. And I go, "Well, that's not on the rules." And he's like, "Well, we just made it a rule." And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, they're we're
We're not
po-
playing for money or anything, but like, what?
we're point shaving in wiffle ball. Like what?
So I was like, okay, whatever. It's your, whatever. So
House
like that
rules,
was
I guess.
that was my running joke. I was like, well, there's a 7-minute rule. We don't know about these rules, like just fucking around. But
That's awesome.
and
That's so
then
funny.
for those who know me, I have adopted the Asian culture as one in my own, and so I claimed that it was racist. But anyway, you know, we wiffle ball on Saturday, dude. And, oh my God, Sunday, man. I'm still sore. Like I don't know. And there is no running. There's no running in wiffle ball except for fielding. Like, dude,
Right.
my upper body is sore. Like I guess from swinging and throwing this goddamn ball. My legs are still fucking sore. I'm like, what the hell did I like? I feel like I got hit by a fucking truck.
Mm.
Um, but Sunday, we celebrated the girlfriend's mother's birthday. So we were over there all day, playing games, doing whatever, eating dinner, eating lunch. And yesterday we had a 40th birthday party. So we were kind of nonstop going all weekend. Yesterday even, like, we got back to my house about an hour and a half before the we were supposed to leave. I took a shower, we laid down, and we fucking passed the fuck out, and we were actually like close to an hour late to the 40th birthday party. But it was all right. We ended up still staying for a few hours, and
Mm.
got home late, or not late, but like about 8:30, 8:45 last night. So it was just nonstop going, man.
Yeah.
But we're back on a Tuesday. I'm glad we had a 3-day weekend. It just went by too quickly, and I don't feel like going back to work today. But I would like to say that we do have some breaking news, or not breaking news, but we have a big announcement from New Leaf News itself. So New Leaf News had a contest during the month of August
Mm-hmm.
for the article that received the most views, and it had to be published and or written and published. Well, I guess not written, but published in the month of August,
Uh-huh.
and the views would all come from the month of August. So if you posted something, 2 days ago, you would only have 24 hours to get as many views as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And the winner would get a gift card of their choosing. I would like to make that announcement right now. Who won this contest for the New Leaf News writing team? And it is of course, it's our own,
Drum
because
roll, please.
drum roll, please, because someone outside of New Leaf isn't going to win, so it is our own. Gabriella, she has won our contest with her article on the Garland hotel, or the Garland motel shooting. 3 migrant suspects. Had over 1.1 thousand views. And she is our winner for the contest. So go check out that article. Again, it's on the Garland Motel shooting. Um, Great post, great article, and congratulations to Gabriella. She was the winner of I think probably our first New Leaf News contest, and she will be receiving a gift card of her choosing today. So
That's great.
congratulations to her, and hopefully this is the first of many contests that either she can win or someone else can win.
Yeah,
So
it's really for someone who doesn't pay attention a lot to the news or a lot of like national media stuff unless it's like trending on Twitter.
mhm.
She does excellent work on New Leaf News. Like her
Yeah,
her attention to detail, sourcing, putting her own not spin on the story, but reporting it in her own tone. It's almost second to none. She's awesome.
yeah. So congratulations to her. And I will be able to break the news to her later.
Whoop,
But
whoop.
anyway, um, so Yeah, man, long weekend. You mentioned the start of the college football. Did you place any bets? Did you get any beats? What happened?
I had I had a
Beautiful.
beautiful Sunday night placed. I had uh South Carolina's quarterback rushing yards smack. I had I don't remember what, cuz there one of the things that you can really get the edge on betting wise is because there's so many different schools. There's so many different players that you can maybe catch an edge if you do a little bit of research. The one bad break that I got over the weekend, I had Carson Beck over half an interception. So if he throws one interception, that cashes the prop. The the Miami Hurricane receiver. Let me actually pull up his name to shout him out because he made a ridiculous one-handed catch. It might be in contention for catch of the year towards the end of the year. Let me pull it up. It was on Sunday.
I thought did he transfer? Because wasn't he the quarterback at Georgia?
Yeah, Carson Beck was the quarterback at Georgia, and he transferred to Miami. Yeah, it
Nah.
was Mister. What's your first name? C.J. Daniels. He made a ridiculous one-handed touchdown catch, which more power to him for making a crazy catch. But it's just so funny when you have a player to throw an interception, and a DB just sitting right there, and he just goes Odell 2.0 and just reaches up a one and snags it. I'm like, oh, great. He just makes an awesome catch when a DB's right there.
He just ripped the ball and your heart out of your chest.
All in one play. All in literally one just catching motion. But we talked about Schoolboy earlier. He had an awesome outing. I think it was on Sunday. Might have been Saturday.
We talked about shirt.
Yeah,
we talked about Schoolboy.
Yeah,
talk about
it's really interesting to me when you can see certain pitchers like that are dominant strikeout pitchers, like a Schoolboy or a Hunter Brown or pitchers like that, where they'll go 7 innings and end up with like 4 Ks, just like Schoolboy did.
Yeah.
And I was explaining to a friend that I've mentioned in previous episodes and stuff like that, how whenever he reaches out to me for baseball, like betting tips, stuff like that, he'll ask me about pitchers. Oh, is he good XYZ? And I'm like, oh, they're like a ground ball pitcher or a fly ball pitcher. And he's like, what is that? And I said, not every pitcher goes up there. I'm like, all right, I'm about to immaculate inning this hoe. No. He's like, oh, that's what that means? Like, they just go to try and pitch just for ground out? So I said, yeah. And he's like, oh, yeah, you pitched a contact, because when I brought up Dylan Cease this year, for the majority has been a fly ball feast or famine pitcher. He was asking me about it, and I was like, yeah, he can be hit or miss. He's a fly ball pitcher. He's like, what's a fly ball pitcher? And so I was like, oh, well, they're pitching for weak contact, to keep your pitch count low, XYZ stuff like that. And he said, is that what you mean by ground ball pitcher? And I was like, it's exactly what it means, except someone pitches for long pop-ups and others pitch for for ground outs. But it was when I was talking to him on the phone, I could hear the knobs turning, like in his, like the light bulb click. He was like, oh, that's what that means. And I'm like, yeah, dude. And I had to explain as to why every pitcher just doesn't go up to strike everybody out.
Yeah, I think I ended up only losing one bet that I placed this weekend.
Nice.
And that was Bama getting upset.
That, yeah.
I took that minus 13.5, and that wasn't even my play. I got that play from somebody else. But I was able to take Western Michigan plus 21.5 against Michigan State. If you are a Michigan State Spartan fan, or just a member of the Michigan community, that Michigan State does not cover big spreads like this against the directional schools of Michigan. They usually either play Central or Western, every year, and it usually is like a 31-17 game. So, it was 23-6. And I ended up so it was 23-0. Michigan State was driving and they fumbled and Western got it. So I'm like, oh hell yeah. Like, Western just score some points. There was like 5 minutes left of the game.
Mm.
Well, I didn't watch the rest of the game. Like, the girlfriend was over and I was like, let's watch something entertaining. We don't need to watch this. I can scoreboard watch on my phone. Well, the next day I checked the score and I was like, hell yeah, like Western scored at the end. I didn't know it was a pick six that they scored on at the end of the game. So shout out to Western Michigan's defense for backdoor covering that one for me. I also took Tennessee. I think it was minus 13.5, and they won by over 19, maybe 20 something. They scored. They may have scored at the end, but they were kind of in control against Syracuse. And then I took USC, which I was like, okay, this is I'm giving up a lot of points. I think I was giving up like 36.5. Well, they won by 60, so that was didn't really have to sweat it out there. And if if I look back at it, I almost took North Carolina plus 3.5. If I look back at it, I wish I would have put the house on TCU because everything had the makings of TCU just blowing them out. And I at first I was like, okay, Belichick's he's still kind of new to the system. He hasn't been there for, like when did he get hired? Like late spring or early summer?
Give or take, yeah.
So, he's only had a couple of months to like get his program together. I was like, okay, they still might come out defensive wise. They might still like I was even thinking about taking the under because I'm like, okay, like it's a Belichick run team. Like they're gonna be disciplined on defense. Like they're probably gonna be blitzing a lot or whatever, like just crazy looks for the quarterback. Well, thinking about it, logically after that, I'm like, yeah, you could have probably saw TCU blowing him out, written all over the wall because he didn't have much time to prepare these kids. And I am okay. So I have an interesting article to write.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying this, but I'm saying this as a guy talking to another guy that has and just saying it as like it has no momentum yet. But is there a possibility? This is the big question, right? And and it's not gonna. It's this is okay. If it's a snowball effect, right? This is the very first snowflake. Like this is how small this conversation is right now.
This is the first domino to potentially fall.
Exactly. Could it be that Bill Belichick is the most overrated coach of all time?
Are you asking me that straight up, or are you just throwing it out there?
I'm just throwing it out into the universe. It's the snowflake because
throwing out to the ether.
Does he have any rings without Brady?
No.
And when Brady went, Brady left. He, how much success did he have in New England?
They made the playoffs. They made the playoffs once and got steamrolled.
Getting blown out in North Carolina. I know it's one game.
Yeah.
I know it's overreaction Tuesday, but that's the snowflake. If it continues to happen, that question might gain some traction.
It's a really interesting thought process because for the longest time it is best, like example, Nick Saban did not have success when he was the Miami Dolphins head coach. However,
or the Spartans coach.
Or the who?
He was the Spartans coach first.
Before he was at Miami?
I believe so. Yeah, he was because he went to the pros in between like LSU and Bama, right? Yeah, he was the Spartans coach in like the 90s.
Wow, the more you know. And it's really interesting to me because like when you have so much success on one side, whether it be professional or collegiate, it's always interesting whether to cross sports if Mike Krzyzewski would have been a good NBA head coach, Well,
Mm-hmm.
the coaching styles are different. It kind of leads into not what's wrong with Alabama, but going from Nick Saban, where his nickname was like the dictator, in old school, not grimy, but gonna grind you out, gonna squeeze every ounce of juice out of your fruit per se, and yell, bark, scream, and stuff. And Kalen DeBoer's kind of just laid back because he's a West Coast guy coming from Washington, and stuff like that. So it's just the transition was always going to be interesting watching Bill because he's renowned as one of, if not the best NFL coach of all time. I do think there's an argument to be made if I were to walk up to Joe Schmo on the street and say, "Hey, you need to pick one head coach, and I'm not going to tell you if it's college or NFL, but you got to pick a coach." There's a great argument. Jim Harbaugh's right there.
Yeah.
Could,
I mean, I don't like the guy, but yeah.
yeah,
Pete Carroll would be up there too.
he would be up there too. Yeah, it's just really interesting to me as to when, because I don't know if you watched the game, but they came out kind of on fire. They were moving the chains. They were moving the chains in early down runs, and then Gio Lopez hit. I want to say it was like a 28-yard pass, then a 14-yard pass, but no, it was a
I
nice.
took the
It was a
first
nice
drive,
pass.
and that was about it.
Yeah,
And
and then
I checked the score later, and I was like, all right.
then it kind of went right downhill from there. But speaking of Gio Lopez, when you were throwing the Bill Belichick question into the ether, I was pulling up a hilarious stat I saw last night. So he went at 8:12 Eastern Standard Time and completed a 19-yard pass to Jordan Shipp. His next completion was at 10:20 Eastern Standard Time. And
So he didn't complete the pass for 2 hours? Jesus
Yep.
Christ.
And
all right.
like, of course, the memes already flying. Like, I saw an AI picture of Gio Lopez outside of the first drive, and it was an edited picture of George Lopez in like in a Tar Heel jersey. But I don't know, it really just amazes me as to how they came out semi, buttoned up and all that stuff, and then it just kind of the door just kind of came out from under them.
Right. Yeah, it's similar to like say like Phil Jackson, right? If Phil Jackson would have never went to the Lakers, say he went to the fucking Clippers after the Bulls, right?
Yeah.
You could probably make the same argument. Like, okay, like he had Jordan in his prime, won 6 championships, and then say he goes, like I said, to the Clippers instead of the Lakers. You don't have Kobe and Shaq, but you have Michael Olowokandi and fucking I don't know, Darius Miles, and you're like, okay, and you don't do shit, and you're like, okay, well, you had Jordan. So, like, is it, like, it was always, was it Brady or was it Belichick or was it a combination of both? It probably was a combination of both, but it's not looking good, and like I said, I'm just a guy throwing out a question. There's no momentum behind this. It's the snowflake. But if this turns out disastrous, doesn't that become the question? Like, hey, I mean, it's not like Bill was a spring chicken when he took over the head coaching job of the New England Patriots. So, like, I mean, how much success did he have prior? And I generally don't know that. I don't know how much success he had prior, but I know I think he was just a coordinator under Bill Parcells, if I'm correct.
Yeah, and then after that he was the head coach in Cleveland for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Then he got the boot.
Right. So I mean, it's I think it's a legit thought to have. Depending on how this tenure at North Carolina goes. I mean, I do think, like, it's he has like, not to say like it's an obvious statement that he has the tools to be successful, but the intangibles that he brings to the program, as far as like pretty much being able to make a pipeline to the NFL with his connections, you would think that North Carolina could become a powerhouse. but we will see. I mean, like I said, he's only been there for a couple of months, and it could be a super overreaction. But again, I'm just dropping that first snowflake.
Yeah, and it never hurts to it never hurts to be the first person to just throw out an idea,
Yeah,
and then no one talks about it. And let's say in 2 years, Bill has a combined 8 total wins from this year and next year, and then it's like,
yeah,
because when Brady left and went to Tampa, it was always going to be who wins the divorce.
yeah.
And the divorce kind of ended when Brady won his first year in Tampa after the COVID year or whatever. But to me, it was the most mutual marriage coach to quarterback almost since
Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan.
damn near. I don't know. It,
I
it,
mean,
it just
it's pretty much the same. Like okay, did Vince McMahon make Hulk Hogan, or did Hulk Hogan make the WWF? You know,
yeah,
it's the same.
they kind of go hand in hand. Yeah, and like when I feel as if
Yeah,
whenever there's the Brady versus Belichick debate, people forget that Brady wasn't always just the he had kind of two Hall of Fame careers, when he was in his early 20s and he was the ultimate game manager and winning Super Bowls, and then when he got later when he was, throwing for a shit ton of yards and stuff and things of that
Yeah.
nature. Because there was that, I think it was a 10-year gap in between Super Bowls.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, they won in 2004 when no, it was what they won in 2000. Was the Rams one was in 2000, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And then they went back to back against the Eagles and the Panthers, and then they went 10 years, and then they won in 2015. Yeah,
And then they won four,
yeah, and then they
or
fucking
three.
ripped.
Brady won four. Yeah,
Yeah, and then they ripped off some more, which is still one of the best dynasties the NFL's ever seen.
can't stand them. Anyway, um, but yeah, it's interesting to think about.
Mm-hmm.
There was also um big WWE stuff over the weekend.
Yep.
Clash in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
Um, dude, Roman Reigns got his fucking ass handed to him by the tribal thief and Braun Breaker. Which dude, I think it was pretty cool. Like obviously Roman's taking some time off to I think film Street Fighter.
Yeah.
So they needed to kind of write him off, but like I think that was a good idea. They need to push, and they need to push the vision as much as they can to make them as dominant as they can be.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of them, you get the Becky Lynch, in interfering with the Fatal Four Way, which I'm not a big fan of Becky Lynch. There's, like no offense to women's wrestling, but it's not my jam. You need to really impress me to have me be a fan. Like Rhea Ripley, I really like. And there's a couple others, but Becky Lynch, I'm not a big fan of. And but it makes sense. It's obviously leading up to a someone's return. CM Punk's wife over there, which again, like some people might get excited about. I kind of care less, but it's a good story. Like
Yeah.
Seth, said that he is going to do everything in his power not to let CM Punk be champion and to make his life miserable, and he proved that by involving his wife. I mean,
Yeah. It really like I was watching it simultaneously with a friend, right? And right when someone we didn't know at the time yet uppercut CM Punk and his family jewels, I was like, okay, their body frame is too slender to be a guy, and
yeah,
and Becky had the damn near Ninja Turtle shit going on where you could only see the eyes, and then when she took her shit off, I was like, okay, that is the easiest way to open the door for AJ Lee's return. And then on Raw last night, they Punk asked, I think it's what Adam, is it Pierce? In the
Yeah.
gym, yeah. Where is SmackDown this Friday? It's in Chicago. Dun dun dun. This is the easiest layup to just catch it and dunk it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, it's not really my jam. I don't really care. Storyline wise, I guess it works. But you know, it's I'm not like giddy over it.
Oh, the pop,
But
the pop's gonna be awesome.
oh, yeah, I know. And like I just like, again, I remember AJ a little bit. It is what it is. Like, I mean, I guess she was huge in the Divas era.
Hmm.
Uh, but like Becky Lynch, dude, I feel like Becky Lynch had, like, to me, she had like one hot year, and then like I feel like she's just been trying to capture that back since when she became the man. But I can't stand her tagline where it's like, the man has come around to your city, and I'm like, that sounds so stupid. But anyway, and I think the only reason that she got like blew up into the stratosphere is because Nia Jax broke her nose, and she was all fucking bloody in that fucking Survivor Series invasion, the SmackDown versus Raw thing.
Hmm.
But other than that, like I'm not, like I said, like, take it for what it's worth. The wrestling is, and sports in general, you can like who you like, and you can dislike who you dislike people. So I just,
Yeah.
I don't. I'm sure she's a great person. It's not attacking her personally, but I'm just not. It's not my jam.
Yeah,
And I
and
think you had a cool 1 year thing, but like I think it's like, okay,
yeah, to me, I feel like that's the best thing about like sports entertainment, XYZ. People they gravitate towards whether it be teams, franchises, certain players, depending upon once again sports entertainment, certain wrestlers, storylines to follow. Some people, you know. Some people love the bloodline shit. Some people hate it. Some people are like, okay, here comes another damn big ass Samoan that can do a corkscrew backflip off the top rope, and then you have some people that are like, oh well they need to go make their own wrestling promotion because they're all big and they're all doing crazy black backflip 360 no scopes.
yeah. I don't understand the people that are sick of Seth Rollins.
I don't
Like,
either
this,
because he's great.
like, he is getting so much hate on X, and I'm like, you realize that this guy is probably the best wrestler on the roster.
Yeah,
Like, probably like a combination of Mike, ring skills, intriguing storylines. Like,
he
the
play
guy is
he
amazing.
plays his role perfectly too.
Oh, 100%.
Like the fact that he is like, I remember when he was face, heel, face, heel. Now he's back to being a heel and a dick, and he just knows how to push the buttons.
Hmm. I mean, of course, I want, LA Knight to get his
Yeah.
championship. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, but I'm not gonna bitch that Seth Rollins is still the champ. I mean, I would have, as much as I want LA Knight to win the big title,
Hmm.
uh, storyline wise, right now, you need to have Seth have it with the Vision.
Yeah.
Like, you need a dominant group with the champion at the leader. Like, if he's not the champion, then you're just another version of the MFTs, and no one cares about you. Sorry, Solo, and the three guys that I can't name. Um, you know, minus Tonga, maybe
Dude,
Tonga. I
it
don't know.
yeah, it was so funny because when me and my buddy when we were watching the match, when LA Knight dove off and Seth rolled out of the way of the announce table, my boy was like, well, LA Knight's done for the rest of the fucking match, he's dead over here. And then when Rollins went and curb stomp Jay, and then went back around and curb stomp LA Knight, I was like, they didn't have to do that, dick.
Yeah,
They
to
were,
do that.
they were already both just dead outside the ring anyways. You knew what the spot was.
Right.
I don't know. It
Yeah.
was.
So,
Mhm.
I like what they're doing with the Vision. I don't know. I think it would be best for Becky's career if she actually joins them. like I said, man, I think she had a good like 1 year run a few years ago, and I think she's been trying to capture that since. And I think the best move for her and Story would be for her to just join that group. Like I said, man, the whole tag of finally the man has come around to your city. I'm like, it just doesn't flow well off of her tongue, and I'm like, dude, you just ruined your whole promo with 5 words at the beginning of it. I
Right.
don't care about anything else.
I don't know. I think with the door opening up for AJ to come back, it's gonna be really interesting as to how they whether it be a mixed tag at some main event for whatever for the titles or whatever the case may be. I don't see AJ immediately coming back and them doing like something for Becky's title.
Do you think she's gonna have like an actual run, or do you think she is a one-off?
Um, I've seen like teases over obviously whenever wrestlers semi-retire and they just don't wrestle anymore, there's always like the tease. Like I think a picture came across my timeline on Twitter a couple months ago, and she posted on her Instagram story with it was like her with her wrestling boots on, and with just a bunch of question marks and thinking emojis on it. And a lot of fans were like, she's coming back, and so that was what the giant hype was. They're like, she's gonna come back for the Royal Rumble. That's gonna be the giant surprise, you know. But
I kind of hope it's just a one-off. I kind of hope it's just a one-off. Just CM Punk and her versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, just a one-off. Let CM Punk and her win. Because, dude, like, I feel like, and I could be in the minority on this, but I feel like when people take that much time off, they're not as good as what you remember.
yeah, because
You know what I mean?
she left in what 2016,
Mhm.
17, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I mean, it was right around Punk, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
so
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there could be a lot of hype and then just not a big deliver. So well, I mean, look at Nikki Bella. I mean,
I was about to say, speaking of not big deliveries, did you see and I know we hate the word botched, but the rope enziguri miss?
Yeah, well, yeah, that was. I feel like that was totally on Becky Lynch.
Bro,
She walked away.
When I asked my boy if he saw it on Twitter, he said I saw it and was gonna ask you, do you think that Nikki thought she was too close, Becky was so far away? I said I feel like it was a mix of both. Like,
yeah,
Becky was too far away, and Nikki, obviously with her back turned, didn't see her.
right. Becky definitely stumbled away, and she knew that spot was coming. So like, and but like the timing on Nikki Bella's part was fucking terrible. I heard that whole match was a disaster. I didn't see anything but highlights from Clash in Paris, and I only saw about a half hour of Raw yesterday, and it was like the first half hour. So
Yeah.
a little behind on my wrestling. I kind of know what happened, but again, just busy weekend. So but that it's I heard that match was terrible. Again, like I saw the spot where she's banging Becky's head against both tables, and that looked terrible. And that's on Becky. The other spot that you're talking about, the enziguri off the middle rope. I mean, that's a little bit on both of them. But I don't man.
Selling is becoming a lost art.
Dude, it is. And it sucks because I'll admit, I don't watch AEW. I've watched probably 15 minutes of AEW in the last 6 months, and it was probably last week when I wasn't feeling well.
Right.
But like you have, and the internet wrestling community is kind of out there. Like they can't just enjoy the show, right? Someone's always got to have an opinion about everything, and we have opinions about things too. So I'm not saying that that whatever, but I don't like the just the gymnastics, like Ricochet and Will Ospreay. I can't get behind these guys. Like they're basically glorified gymnasts, and there's nobody like a Stone Cold. And I know Stone Cold's like one of the biggest names ever, but Stone Cold was able to like just beat ass. Like he
was a brawler.
Yeah, most of his matches were just punches and kicks and, few moves here and there and, just whooping people's asses. Like to me, that's what I enjoy. Like I don't need you to fucking do all these backflips and shit and then do a look like a Canadian destroyer or something and then just get up from it and super kick someone and then fall. Like okay. Like it's Dolph Ziggler is one of my favorites. Finn Balor, same. And these dudes, like, I mean,
sell their ass off.
And like JBL will tell you, and I know a lot of people don't like JBL, but he's great on podcast. They're too good at selling. They've screwed themselves into like, okay, well, if we need to make someone look good, put Finn or Dolph out there.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they're probably gonna lose, but they sell like a motherfucker to them, dude. They're so good. They make it look so realistic. They make the face or the heel, whoever whatever role they're playing, they play the role to a T.
Yeah.
And like you switch over to AEW, and you're getting multiple Canadian destroyers or pile drivers or all these devastating moves on the top rope or whatever, and dudes are just springing back up like, oh, like what?
They're just eating it.
Yeah, I'm like, stupid, dude. It's just stupid to me. Like, okay, let's tell the world that it's fake without saying it's fake.
Yeah,
or scripted.
But then in the same breath, in their company, they're gonna have 2x4s with spikes on it, and stab people in the head with forks. So like,
or someone with fucking 9 belts, and you don't know 7 of the promotions.
Right.
Like,
I don't know.
Like okay, like you do realize that you have to lose all those belts at one point, right? So are you just gonna go on a giant losing streak?
No,
are you gonna fight someone for 9 belts? I'm gonna challenge you for your 9 belts.
No, she's just gonna retire. Take the belts.
Yeah.
The John Cena heel way.
Between her cringy fucking dance and her cringy fucking promos. Oh my god, dude.
I don't know. I was never like, I remember when AEW, was first coming out. I was like, oh, okay, there is competition, and competition will normally make both parties have to innovate and do different things, especially to improve their product, right? And then especially now with AEW kind of not fizzling out, but slowly fizzling out. I feel like WWE could benefit from if AEW was better. Because I'm not saying that WWE is not good now, but if AEW were to give were to have the run that they had when they first arrived to the scene, oh dude, storylines, matches, pushes, like just everything would just be so much better.
Well, now it's coming out that like all the issues with Tony Khan, and like I mean. Almost everyone that leaves there has an issue with Tony Khan. I mean, Jake Hager was the latest, going on a podcast and saying like basically he's a fanboy and he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And, he basically like, if he likes you, that's great. If he doesn't, then you're kind of fucked. And he's kind of an asshole to work with and, just what do you call him? Daddy's little billionaire or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it's there's a reason why WWE is successful and ran by people that know the industry versus companies like AEW who the guy, he's not part of the wrestling industry. He doesn't, know how to put on wrestling storylines and stuff. I'm sure, he could get advisors and things like that, and he probably should. But, the product just like, to me, I'm like, every time I turn it on, I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, why are these guys fighting? Like, even the commentators don't like give you any kind of backstory. They just it just seems like, okay, wrestler A is versus wrestler J this week. Next week, wrestler A is gonna be versus wrestler fucking 27. Like you're like, okay, well, cool.
How it really used to be back in the day when it was wrestler A versus wrestler B.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was never appealing to me. I did see though on Twitter that Chris Jericho has put out his feelers to see if WWE has any interest in potentially bringing him back when his contract is over. Would that be something you would be interested in?
Not really. Like I'm a big Chris Jericho guy too, but like I just can't get over the kind of how he looks. Like he looks just very old. His like chest, like his chest has been caving in for a while, but now it's really
Mm-hmm.
caved in, and
Yeah.
now he's got long hair again. He looks like a wizard or something. Like it kind of takes me out of it. And like I said, in the '90s. Jericho fan. Early 2000s Jericho fan. Early the you just made the list Jericho fan. The way he reinvented himself Jericho fan. Him coming out to Judas Jericho fan.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of looking a little old. I don't need to see you with your shirt off. You gained a little bit of weight. You got a little grays in there. Maybe as a manager, I don't. I just don't care to see him in the ring anymore. Like it just it's like, and again, wrestling is subjective, just like other sports entertainment. It's just okay. Like I get it. Like I was a fan of yours. Current Jericho. Like if I was a kid, I'd be like, "Who the hell?" It reminds me of like when I was a kid, when I was like 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
The NWO was like running Ruckshaw, is that the word?
Rough shot.
They were fucking, I don't know, sure, Rimshot. Um,
Don't say rim job.
um, I didn't say rim job. I said rim shot. Rim shot is Ernest's dog's name, in the Ernest movies. Anyway, Ernest scared stupid. Ernest goes to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Ernest goes to camp. All those. Um, but I forgot where I was going with this. Something about Jericho,
If
or
you
maybe something else.
if you were a kid, you were like, I don't want.
Yeah, 10 years old. The NWO is like fucking going crazy,
Yeah.
and then you see Ric Flair. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? He's old, and at the time he was only 40, which
Right.
is crazy. But anyway, I'm like, who's this old dude? He gets his ass whooped every week, and like I thought Flair was like, before like knowing like the history of wrestling and stuff. I thought Flair was like I'm like this old man jobber. I'm like, get this fucking old man who's doing like elbow drops to his jacket and going crazy in the ring. Get him out of the ring. I want to see fucking Kevin Nash and Scott Hall spray paint you.
Stop elderly abusing this man.
Yes, and Jericho is probably 20 years older than he was at that time. So it just becomes it's a young man's game, or younger than 50.
Yeah, to me it.
Unless you look like AJ Styles or R-Truth.
Yeah, or like how old's Randy Orton? He's what 46,
40 something.
40,
Yeah,
somewhere in there. He's getting up there. No, though, but for me, for a lot of like the wrestlers that like either you grew up or I grew up in that are still like wrestling, it's like, at what point do you like, not saying leave, but at what point do you exit stage left? And it's okay.
Right. And I think, like obviously I think he wants to retire in WWE and have one last run. But like,
what does it
Cena still looks decent.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could tell like he's aging as well, and it just I don't know, man. Like it's like, for someone that's been watching it for this long and seeing Jericho for the last 30 years, it's like, okay, like I don't want to remember you like dying in the ring.
Old and brittle.
Yeah, like I want to remember you doing like lion salts and insulting Stephanie McMahon and calling her a trash bag hoe or whatever, and and then making a list and checking it twice and being friends with Kevin Owens and
Yo, one of the crazier storylines that I remember when he first came back in 2012, and then he was a face for like a month, and then they turned him heel, and he was going against Punk, and
Mhm.
he was fucking insulting his fucking family trying to get disqualified, and then they had the Chicago street fight where they're bashing like booze over each other's fucking heads and
Yeah.
shit. That shit was so funny, dude. Growing up, I was like,
Yeah.
holy fuck, this dude's a dick.
Yeah, and like that wasn't even prime Jericho.
No,
Like,
no, it wasn't.
it-
It was just another resurgence.
right. So, but you know what time it is?
Oh,
It
I know
is
exactly what time it is.
the Nerfy time. Did you win your last one? Because I have no idea. I forgot to check.
No idea either.
I think I had the Pirates at some point.
That sounds right. I had the.
I think.
Huh?
I picked Skeens, I think.
Yeah, I remember I went with. When I see the pictures, I'll see. When I see these damn pictures. Yeah, I'm looking at Friday's scores. I forgot the Nets. I said the Nets. The Mets beat the Marlins 19-9. This shit's ridiculous. Yeah, years hit and mine. I'll have to go back and look at the tape. I think I lost.
Good.
Wow.
I'm on a 4-game winning streak. Everybody, please.
Bless you.
Ooh.
Bless you.
Some good luck sneezes. Why? It's okay. I'm okay.
Okay. Thank you for caring.
Yeah, he's staring at me now. Let me get into the matchups today. I'm going for my 5th win in a row, which I don't think Lawson has done all year.
It might be a record.
So you can just call me the king of the Nerf.
Yo, do you remember that old like Nerf commercial? It's Nerf or nothing. You remember that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I do remember that. So I'm gonna go with I told you earlier that I have adopted the Asian culture, and I mean that. So I'm gonna go with Woo 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 Brian Woo for the Seattle Mariners. He's 12-7 with a 2.95 ERA and 166 strikeouts, having a pretty damn good year. Against the Tampa Bay Rays, Drew Rasmussen, he's 10-5, 2.64 ERA with 113 strikeouts. Seattle is still in the mix for a playoff spot. Tampa is going to have to get hot for the next month and a half to be able to get into contention. So we're going to go with the Mariners and Rays for this Nerfy on Tuesday the 2nd.
I was looking at that game. I'm going to go with your Detroit Tigers going up against the Mets. I know it's probably a bad idea. However,
there's no way that hits.
Noah McLean for the Mets, he has a 3-0 record and a .89 ERA. He's looked sharp. He's looked really sharp in his 3 starts. I don't know if you've seen, but he's been like that going up against someone who I've never heard of, Sawyer Gibson Long.
Yeah,
however,
man. Sawyer Gibson Long, isn't that he's a law firm?
You know what's long? His name. You know what else is long? His outing tonight. Bro's going all night.
Yeah.
No, he has.
Not letting up a hit.
Hey, dude. Potential perfect.
Put a wager on no hitter watch.
Potential
Sawyer Gibson Long, or whatever the hell his name is.
No hitter watch through 5.
No, through 9.
Through 9?
Yeah, man, we're going legit no hitter. Put a couple bucks on. There will be a no hitter today,
dude. Speaking of 9 and stuff like that, I rewatch. The Ein sound. I was rewatching a promo. It was when Punk told Reigns that Heyman was gonna be backing him at WrestleMania, and the funniest part of that whole promo was when camera pans to Paul, camera zooms out, and Roman's looking at him. Are you crying? And because Paul was like, he's been up for 3 days, and he's fucking got tears right now, and Roman just like looks at him like, what? And then just and fucking Paul's got his fat lip going. Yeah, and Reigns just looks at him and goes, "Are you crying? You better wipe him up and tell him no."
So you got the Tigers and Mets. That's not going to hit. So go opposite on that. Go Yurfie. I almost did a Yurfie yesterday with that game because I was like, I think the Mets are going to score, but the Tigers ended up on the first pitch of the game for the Tigers, they hit a home run.
Game ended 10-8. That shit was crazy.
Soto with 6 RBIs, including a grand slam.
Yeah.
By the way, I hit a grand slam during our Nerfy tournament, and I actually hit a grand slam and a 3-run homer in the same fucking inning. I only hit 3 home runs total in the day, but 2 of them came in the same inning.
Your Nerfy tournament?
Yes, my wiffle ball tournament, my Nerfy.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for joining us on this Taco Tuesday. Again, we're here on Tuesday because yesterday was Labor Day and we were all laboring around. So we will be back tomorrow. We usually are live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the New Leaf News channel on YouTube. Join us for your breakfast. Enjoy some laughs and sometimes some stats and sometimes just, some ridiculousness.
Vibes.
Yep. Go check out newleafnews.com/.network. Both of them take you